Hello, hello, hello. Hey, G2G. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Jersey girl, hello. Priscilla, hello, hello, hello. Hello. Let me get some more light up in here. Great. James, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Ooh, what is this? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Tippy, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Thank y'all. Come on in. As you come in, please hit that like button if you don't mind. If I come in on the video for next time. Antonia, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So while we're waiting on folks to come in, should some more come in, I want to find out what you guys did for the what are you doing right now to take advantage of all this free time that you got from this quarantine? Hey, Miss Angela, how you doing? What are you guys doing to take advantage of this time? Are you just sitting around chilling, Netflix and chill? Are you getting some things accomplished? What are you doing? What are you doing during this time? Are you doing like me and making up projects? Trying to make up for some rest that you didn't get before? Praying for outcomes. Okay, okay. Nothing wrong with a little prayer now. I'm cleaning house and clearing out stuff. Yes. This is the perfect time for spring cleaning. Up and out. Up and out. You digging me? Hey, how you doing? My job doors are still... Oh, I'm so sorry. Please stay safe. Please stay safe. Spring cleaning and sleeping. I'm working from home. Just got off 30 minutes ago. My free time is for you too. Snuggling up with my boo. That's what I'm talking about. I think a lot of quarantine babies gonna be running around here. I remember just like it was yesterday. It was the quarantine of 2020. I can't handle clutter. It helps my mind. Right. James said he threw his hands up. That's it. I just throw my hands up. If you can't say a word, you just wave your hands. So when we get stuff, let me see. I don't know why this thing won't let me type in the chat. You know what? Let me use my phone. The phone line will be open tonight for this discussion. It will be open tonight for this discussion. So, what I'm going to do, hold up 1 second. If I can find myself, I'm trying to find myself. Okay, there it is. That's bad when you don't know the number. I don't use it enough to know it. Okay, so I put the call-in number up so you guys have it. I'm reading, working on 2 books, Sundown Times and the New Jim Crow. Oh, wow. Oh, you trying to get some education in right now. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, yes. Right, right. You never call yourself. Hello. I appreciate everybody that came out last night and kind of hung out and, just got a little chance to let some stuff, off our chest, kind of chill out a little bit, de-stress, as much as we could, But anything that was said last night, remember yesterday was April Fool's Day. So April Fools, hey Arissa. Hey Arissa. I want to ask you guys a question. And I want you to think about it. Y'all saw this thing said classes in session. So this is where we're going with this thing. Just to start things off, right? I want you to think about, and people gonna be like, oh Lord, I gotta get off here. She want us to do work. I want you, we may talk to ourselves, but we be a Looney Tune to call ourselves. Oh no. Arissa, yeah, it didn't really happen last night. It was April Fool's. It was April Fool's. It didn't really happen. I want you to think about, before we get into this other conversation, I want you to think about what are your greatest attributes. If you had to tell somebody 2 good things about yourself, 2 of your strengths, I can't even get my words out, 2 of your strengths, what would those 2 things be? What are your strongest 2 attributes? And if you don't mind putting your comments in the chat section, if you don't mind, your 2 greatest, if you had to pick 2, what are 2 of your strongest attributes, or 2 of your, I'm going to say strongest strengths. 2 of your strengths. I love me and I'm a survivor. That's what I'm talking about. Self-love. Okay, I see one. Independent self-starter. That's what's up. I can see that, Arissa. I can see that. I can see that, definitely. Okay. Discipline and pay. Oh my God. You need to pass some of that around, Tippy. Jesus. Then we all need a little bit of discipline and patience, Lord. Empathy and I think. Okay. I'm loving these. Caring, heart, and independent. I got a little patience. I ain't gonna say I got all up, but I got a little bit. Just enough to say I got some. But nah. We're gonna go ahead and get that straight. Oh look. I saw my channel just jump for a minute on my screen. So let me give this disclaimer again. There is a group of people on YouTube that will go unnamed at this particular time. But they have been taking great reward out of going and getting other people's lives shut down. So should this live shut down, please know, just stand by. I will open up another one. So since I just saw the little glitch, let me just go ahead and put that out there. Caring, heart, independent, very independent and strong-willed. Touch my hand and leave me on, Tippy. Like, that's for real. Okay, a lot of compassion. I like it, I like it, I like it. Okay, so what we have so far, and I've noticed that these answers came from women. So, oh my goodness, this is really, really, really gonna put some icing on this thing that we're gonna discuss tonight. I'm a people person and non-judgmental. All right. Is K Baby on here? Oh, okay. We're going to shut their assets down if they mess with your. Oh my gosh. So I see self-love and a survivor. I see independent on here 3 times. So self-love and a survivor. I see independent and self-starter. I see disciplined and patience, empathy and a thinker, a caring heart and independent, very independent and strong-willed, a people person and non-judgmental. Okay, we got James. Let me get you real quick. I just like how you wrote that number 1. That's what I'm talking about. I can't even get to number 2 yet. I like how you wrote number 1. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, K Baby. Don't take Y'all show K Baby some love in the chat if you don't mind. Throw some hearts up in there for her. Show a little birthday love. Yeah, know, a little birthday love. It's somebody's birthday. It's somebody's birthday. Whose birthday is it? Whose birthday is it? Okay. So I'm going to go back over these one time. I'm going to go back one time. One time. We got self-love and a survivor. Oh, let me let y'all get these birthdays in real quick. I read them out. Happy birthday again, K Baby, Aries Nation. TPS, a happy birthday, K Baby. G2G Proverbs, a happy birthday, K Baby. Jersey Girl in the Poconos, K Baby Lane. Hey, K Baby, happy birthday, hun. K Baby, happy birthday from Angela Jackson. K Baby said, it's mine. Whose birthday is it? It's mine. Okay, I did it for you. Who's that on the birthday line? It's K Baby. Happy birthday. Yes. It's a beautiful thing, especially right now, y'all. To have another birthday, boy, I tell you, what a time to be in the number. Whew. All right, y'all, so I'm going to go back over these real quick. Okay, baby, what we're doing is listing our 2 strongest attributes, or our 2 strengths. The 2 things, if we had to pick anything that's good about us, the 2 things that really stand out. Can I shine the light on her? Can I shine the light on? Hold up. Look, I'm sitting up here trying to shine a light for real, y'all. I wish there was something that you could do. Shoot. Tippy got me tripping on here. I'm looking for something for real. Okay, so the ones that we have, again, we have my personality. Okay, she right on it, doggone it. Now look, we got like 31 people in here, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 people that gave something. Look, if y'all in the bushes, you can come out and play tonight. Now we at 33. If y'all in the bushes, come out and play with us tonight. like we trying to do some stuff to get everybody, you know, give you some feel good stuff while you sit here on this quarantine time. You know what I'm saying? Give you a little something to think about. So, you know, if you want to just drop your 2 things in here, I just pick them up, you know. I just pick them up and throw them in a pot, you know. Big old pot of gumbo right here. I just throw them in. Just throw them up in there. So right now we got self-love and a survivor. We have independent and a self-starter. Oh, I'm noticing a pattern or something. Let me hold that thought. Discipline and patience, empathy and a thinker, caring heart, independent, very independent, strong-willed, very loyal and great listener. See if I miss one. Okay. Well, you need to claim that, Priscilla. You need to claim that. Caring heart and independent, very independent, strong-willed, put God first, a people person, non-judgmental, your personality and your willingness. Hey, Pico, how you doing? Pico, I need for you to give me your 2 strongest attributes. Your 2 strongest. If you had to go in and brag on yourself and give 2 of your strength to someone, what would those 2 things be? The next one we have personality and willingness. Now all of these came from women. Then we have very loyal and a great listener. Those were all women on those. Okay, and then we have for one of our guys, we have, oh Lord, he said a strong, independent black male. Y'all better know it. Y'all better know it. He said what he said, darn it. And the other one that he said, well, my screen just jumped again. Y'all better quit messing with my screen while we're trying to get this message across. Now, go and find somewhere else to play. Go ahead now. Yes, I do, Miss Fat. And his other one was, don't take my kindness for a weakness. He already telling y'all what it is. He telling y'all what it is. Okay, let me get... Oh, I like that one. I like that one. Antonia, what does that mean? I'm lost. I'm lost. Tell them to get them some business in your channel. Hey, Gospel Glam. Miss Fat, those are good. What's wrong? Those are good. Y'all don't think I'm crazy. I got my phone over here because I can see the chat better from my phone. So, your results are negative. Yeah, that's an amen all by itself. Congratulations. For real. Congratulations. Antonia is a troll. I've seen Antonia before and I've never seen anything, you know. But if the spirit moves, find you some business, not a comedian. Nisimo, hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Okay, so we have, okay. I'm gonna go back over these again. I want y'all to see if you noticing a pattern. All right, so I'm gonna start back. These are all the women first, and I'm gonna give you the guys. Okay, so we have self-love and survivor. Hey, K Nicole, how you doing? How you doing? We have independent, self-starter. We have discipline and patience. We have empathy and a thinker. We have a caring heart and independent. We have very independent and strong-willed and God first. We have a people person and non-judgmental. We have personality and willingness. We have very loyal and a great listener. We have independent and love working with people. And we have loyalty and a nurturer. Let me make sure I got all the females. Antonio, is there something you want to know? Like, just let me know. Is there something you want to know? I need to go to my office or something? Just let me know. I already said I wasn't going to keep showing my stuff, but I mean, if it's necessary, you know, whatever floats your boat. If that's what you want, I don't know. I just saw your comment. Welcome to any new positive. Shamika, hey, how you doing? I work with Trent. I have the most shirt. Hey, Antonio said don't come for her. Wait a minute, I might be pronouncing the name wrong. Don't come for Antonio. That's it. That's all. I have seen it, so Wait. We need her on. I'm hoping that I'm saying Antonia. Just trying to run around in these streets. All right. So for the guys, we have my love. Wait a minute. Strong, independent black male. And don't take his kindness for a weakness. And my love for my people and my willingness to be successful. Pico, I like, man, my willingness to be successful. That's some darn grown man talk right there. You hear what I'm talking about? My willingness. Hey, Ruth, how you doing? My willingness to, Brianna, how you doing? I'm sorry. If I missed you, y'all, I am so sorry. I'm trying to get everybody to come in. We got to get Antonia back on here. So after her timeout, I'm praying Antonia is a woman, y'all. I keep saying her, so that's why I keep looking like that, because you never know what the way that people spell their names. So my willingness to be successful, that's something that all of us need, y'all. Like that thing right there, that touched my spirit right there. That touched my spirit. So one of the things I'm noticing, and I hope y'all saw the pattern in all of it. All right, Jersey. I hope y'all saw the pattern in all of it. One thing that we're all, I can pretty much say we all are independent, right? Because that's the pattern that I'm noticing, like in all of this, regardless of what the comment was. Hey Elizabeth, how you doing? That independence was in there. One other thing that I saw was most of the things the two went together. Like self-love and survivor. In order for you to be a survivor, you have to love yourself enough to continue to fight. So those two attributes, yes, they definitely go together. So when I'm looking at everything that's being put together, like they fit, if that makes sense. Arista said independent and self-starter. Do y'all see where I'm going with this? She's independent, so of course she's a self-starter. And if she gets her mind set on doing something, I can't talk. I'm getting my words tied up. There's not a darn thing that you can do to stop her from doing whatever she put her mind to. These things go together. Discipline and patience. My God. Hand that mess out. Hand it out like rice. You hear me? Discipline and patience. Think about it. You have to be disciplined to be patient. You got to be patient to be disciplined. You see what I'm saying? So all these things go together, and I don't think whenever you really think about your strong points, I don't think that people really think about like what their strengths are. And that's what I'm seeing on these YouTube streets. You see what I'm saying? All these people have all these darn things that they can bring to the table, and they're allowing people to stifle them. And man, listen, let me just keep on going. Empathy and a thinker. In order for you to be empathetic, in order for you to have understanding for somebody else's situation, in order for you to be indifferent, you have to be a thinker. Because if you're not a thinker, then you will not understand anybody else's situation, because you cannot think out of the box. You cannot get past that tunnel vision that you have. You cannot get past that. So when I see empathy and thinker as somebody too strong as attribute, man, y'all better quit playing. Y'all better quit playing. Oh my God, I love it. I've always worked with people in the medical field. Man, listen. Then we come up and we got somebody with a caring heart and they're independent. That person with that caring heart and that independence is a person that tends to like helping people. That person I would consider to be a person that has a servant's heart. Because that independence, you tend to, a lot of times you can get tunnel vision. It doesn't always happen, but when you're independent, you get your mind focused on that one thing, and like you locked in. But to put the heart on the inside of it and have that caring heart, that's usually a person that directs their energy towards helping other people. Now, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong now. Let me know if I'm giving you the wrong information, because this ain't coming from a book. This coming from Doc. But I'm just looking at the stuff that you wrote in here, and I want you to think about it for yourself. Respect my love for people, my willingness to be successful. Yes. I'm getting educated tonight. Oh, Lord. We have very independent and strong-willed. Y'all already got it, right? Very independent and strong-willed. That means you on top of the job. Again, like I said for Orissa, you on top of the darn job. When I tell you I'm going to do something, try to stop me if you want to. We're going to see how that work out for you. That's it. That's all. That's where that comes in. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? The next one. Man, here we go again. You say you're a people person. You're a people person and non-judgmental. Is that not what a people person is made of? A person that can sit down and have conversations with people, adult conversations. That person is usually able to communicate on a higher level. That would be the person that if there was something going on and you needed a mediator, if there was something going on and you needed a spokesperson, then more than likely that's going to be the person, that socialite, that doesn't mind having a conversation with somebody and really listening to what the person has to say without judging them from the beginning. Because a lot of times we listen to respond. We don't listen to hear. We're sitting there listening, or we say we're listening, but we're listening long enough for us to think of what our response is going to be the next time. We're not really trying to take in what the person said. So a people person and non-judgmental, let's keep on going. Personality and willingness. A person that is willing. A person that is willing. I think that was K-Baby too. It fits. You know what I'm saying? You're willing to, I'm going to say that person is more resilient. You understand? Because you understand that as situations change. No, Antonio, don't go anywhere. It was a misunderstanding. Please don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Please don't. It's just with all the stuff that's been going on lately, people just getting like very protective. So please don't. But the personality and the willingness, that person tends to be a bit more resilient, and they tend to bounce back quicker. And whatever they're more flexible. That comes with that resiliency. So their attitude can actually change based on whatever that situation is. They don't get stuck in one place. They're able to maneuver, and they're more willing to maneuver to be able to get things done. That's what that person does. They're able to put things to the side. And Tonya, I hope you see these messages. I hope you're still in here. I really hope you're still in here. Girl, if I had your phone number, I'd call you. But I hope you're still in here. We have a strong, independent black male. And then he followed that mess up with don't take my kindness for a weakness. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. So he's letting you, he's not just independent. It's not just about being independent. He's letting you know that he's strong and he's proud of the person that he is. He's independent in himself. He is, God, you put black male. See, most people don't, okay, I'm independent. You put, I'm a strong, independent black male because you're proud of your blackness. Maybe that has a lot to do with your independence as well. I don't know. But in the midst of all that, listen, I got a kind heart too. But don't let it fool you. Don't let it fool you. I just told you I was strong. I ain't just said I was independent. I said I was strong. That type of person takes care of the household. That type of person is going to stand up. And when they see injustices done, especially to people of the like, people that look like them, and even people that don't look like them, that person is going to stand up. And he doesn't have to be the loudest person in the room, because your strength doesn't come in your voice. That strength comes from the inside. So that's where what I'm getting from this. Yeah, I don't know if she's still on here. Hopefully she'll come back. Hopefully she'll come back. Let's see. We have very loyal and a great listener. All right, coming back on that one. Very loyal and a great listener. Save being saved and I shall be saved. Okay. Understand it's hard to be loyal to anybody or anything if you don't listen. And listening is not just about actually listening to what's coming out of a person's mouth. Listening is also about the things that you don't hear coming out of a person's mouth. So when I see somebody say that they're very loyal, and not just loyal, but very loyal. Even, I guess I'm the only white guy in the room. Block, hush. Block, come in on this. What are your two strongest attributes? If you had to tell us what your two strengths are, if you had to pull from all of them, what are your two that you would want people to know about you? The next one we had was independent and love working with people. Again, this goes back to earlier someone said a caring heart and being independent. See, these two people will work good together because they're basically saying the same thing. You're independent, and like I told you, the caring heart, that's also the person that loves helping people. That's how those two things go together. That means you're going to take the initiative to do something. If somebody needs help, you don't have to wait on somebody to come and tell you, look, go get them some water. Look, they need this. Look, it's already instilled in you. Like, you can't help but to do it. Like, you can't not do it, if that makes sense. It's in you. It is what it is. Loyalty and a nurturer. So this person to me is the person that usually is like, this is the person that the family tends to lean on. Shoot, you're probably the person everybody tends to lean on. You like to problem solve. You the Olivia Pope. They know that if they call on you, that you're going to make sure that things get taken care of. Even if you have to be a little firm in the way that you handle things, you're still going to make sure that you take care of things, number one, because you're loyal. And number two, because you are a nurturer, and you were probably born that way. You were probably a nurturer when you were a child. You were probably nurturing pets and stuff. Like, that's just how it works. You probably were sitting there taking up for people and didn't even mean to take up for people. Like, that's what it is. Like, you can't get rid of it. Like, it's just innate. Like, that's what it is. Okay, we got blocks. Let's see. Sociable, and look at here we go. Sociable and confident. Y'all listen. Who gave me people person and non-judgmental? Who gave me that one? Actually, I can go back up. That won't let me go up so far. Whoever said Nissimo servant. Whoever said people person and non-judgmental, come on now. Let's look at this thing. We see where we're going now. Because Block wasn't on here whenever that one was said. So let's go and mess with this thing for a minute. We got to go and mess with this thing right here. So, Angela, okay, there we go. So you and Block would be two people that would really be working good together in a situation. Because you have these social people. And y'all know Block. Lady Jones, hey, how you doing? Block is a social person, right? He's sociable. So that is the person that you usually call on to be the mediator, right? Come on, y'all. That was Arissa. That's the person that you usually call on to be the mediator. That sociable person. And he said confident. See, a confident person is usually not a judgmental person. Because when you're confident in yourself, you don't have time trying to go around and find the negative in other people. Do you got me? You got me? So I will put Block, and I'm saying that was Arissa. You got Block, you got Arissa, you got the person that with the personality and the willingness. You start putting all these people together. You take the self-starter with the independent. You go and put all this stuff together. Do you see how powerful that team is? Ooh, Lord have mercy. God almighty. Man, listen. Ooh. We had a servant and a leader. That says it all by itself. A servant and a leader. Period. That's it. A servant and a leader. That's basically the same darn thing, because in order for you to be a leader, you have to be able to serve. You can't go and call yourself somebody's leader and you're not willing to get your hands dirty. You're not willing to put your boots on the ground. You're not willing to step in where things are slacking off. That is not what a leader is. Man, come on, Jesus. Yo, let me tell you something. Let me tell you about this group of people that's in here tonight. Ah, man. This crucial right here. This is crucial. Let me tell you something. Whew. Leadership at its finest, right? Leadership at its finest. You have to get nobody to tell you that you were a leader. People always ask, a leader's born or made? That depends on who it is. But I think everybody, you may be born with a few things, but in life, your circumstances, events that happen in your life, certain things that you've been exposed to, those things help build the person that you are today. Especially because you can have a leader, but they can lead you straight to hell. Let's be real. But when you got a leader, see, that leader you don't mind submitting to. That's when we get into that submission thing. You don't mind submitting to a real leader. You understand? And I ain't want to have that conversation. Because when we talk about submission, you got to know what you're submitting to. You understand? You don't submit to something that's not. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone. Hey, God's property. How you doing? How you doing? 312. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? I'm telling you, man. Hey, I'm just going to let that alone. Trust nobody. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? So you see the people that we got up in here. You understand? When you're following somebody, when you have a leader, when you have chosen somebody, because to me, leaders are chosen. You choose who you want that leader to be. If you have chosen somebody to be your leader, then you're choosing somebody that you don't mind submitting to. But you have to know what you are submitting to. And if it's not in line with what you got going on, if you and that leader are not partially yoked, we're not even talking about equally yoked, but not even partially yoked, then what in the world are you following? I'm going to read these comments right here. Let me just read a little bit. I'm going to read. Yeah, Doc, I woke up this morning and was laughing at Sherelle. Yes, 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 yes. So we look at that, right? And it just, oh my God, y'all don't know, that thing filled my heart up. Because when I go into this other conversation, there's not one thing, thank you, Angela, there's not one thing that I heard, not one, y'all, ooh, there's not one thing that I heard that would even go along with this conversation that we're going to have about this narcissistic behavior. Because usually, let me tell you something, especially with our people, I do this because I want to see how long it's going to take people to answer. An arrogant person will tell you all the good things about themselves. They won't give you time to even finish the question. You hear what I'm saying? But a person that has some type of humility, it takes them a while to come up with those answers because they never really think about, okay, well, what is my strength? What are my attributes? I never really thought about it. But when I ask you that question, you start thinking about the things that people actually said to you. Like, you know you're a good listener, right? You know you're easy to talk to. Man, you're a good leader. You start thinking about those things, right? Because it's not something that you go around bragging about every day. That's humility. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is, y'all. So we're going to get into this narcissistic behavior. And I'm going to say this again. Sister, where's your handkerchief? Because you don't preach right there. The character of a leader can be seen. It doesn't have to be heard. Come on now. Come on. Come on. Some people are narcissistic and some people are just, shoot, Pico, you got me with that word, megalomaniacs. Okay. Got me back. Go Google something. You got me back. Google. Y'all listen. Remember, the phone line is open. Call the servant accountable for actions. The phone line is open. It's 803-888-8268. So if you got something that you want to contribute, the line is open. But we just gonna have this conversation tonight, you know, and we're gonna see where it goes. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to say that I am not on here trying to clinically diagnose anybody. That's not what we up here doing today. So let me make that clear. But what we're going to be talking about is what is referred to as NPD. NPD. I'm pretty sure y'all done figured out what that is. That's narcissistic personality disorder. So narcissism falls under the category of a personality disorder, right? So let's go into it a little bit. Let's go into it. A lot of times that's a person that's miserable, confused, and they get off on getting on other. Ooh. Shamika, you're going somewhere. You're going somewhere. Presley, hey, how you doing? How you doing? You're not late. Not late at all. So when we talk about narcissism, And we're gonna sit here. We're not trying to do this like we sitting up in a little class, and I'm like the professor right now. But I want to break it down so we'll all have a good understanding of what's going on right now. So I'm not down with NPD. You know what NPD? So when we talk about a narcissist, we talk about a person that has a disorder in which him or her has an inflated sense of self. You really got the big head, and you weren't born with it, but you got the big head for real. We don't know where you got it from, but it came from somewhere. Here's the important thing. We only had, what, 2 men answer the question? Okay. Narcissism is more common in men. Don't know why, but it's more common in men. We've seen it other places, let's be honest, but it's more common in men. The cause is unknown, but it likely involves a combination of genetic and environmental factors. So that goes back to the things that happened to you, the situations that you found yourself in, the things that you were exposed to as a child and as an adult. Sometimes you can see those narcissistic properties in children. And then they grow up and, oh, Lord, you got a whole monster on your hands. I cannot wait until you get into session on dissociative identity. So, block, don't give me no ideas now. That'll be the next one. That'll be the next one. Hold up. So, yeah, he educated. Okay, so I'll go back to how you would treat this stuff a little bit later. But just going, I'm going to give y'all some of the symptoms. You might want to write some of this stuff down. I don't know. But don't go around trying to diagnose people in your house. That's all I'm saying. But Dr. Rogers said that you're a narcissist. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that right now. Don't do that. But we're going to go over some of these symptoms, right? And we're just going to start here. So, some of the symptoms include, my ex is a definition. Trust nobody, I know about it. Let me tell you, I know about it. The first thing is an excessive need for admiration. An excessive need for admiration. You want people to admire you and only you at all times. It has to be about you. How dare you admire somebody else? Like, come on. Who do you think I am? I play armchair. I play armchair psychoanalyst all the time. I've diagnosed my house already. So you have an excessive need for admiration. The next one, disregard for other people's feelings. Remember that conversation that Kelsey K, hey, how you doing? That conversation that we had the other day about indifference. That indifference, a disregard for other people's feelings. That's the second one. I'm going to cheat off your paper. The next one. An inability to handle criticism. So that means, hey, Nikki, how you doing? That means that you're able to give criticism, but you're not able to take criticism. Y'all got me? So you can tell everybody else what they're doing wrong. But when the tables are turned and someone tries to give you criticism, even if it's constructive, then you can't take that criticism. Because as a narcissist person or a narcissistic person, you're always right. Right? I'm going to pull out my DSM. Hey, blah, you know about that Bible now. Come on. Okay. The next one. A sense of entitlement. You think somebody owe you something. You never gave them anything. You never contributed. And even if you did contribute, that didn't mean that somebody owed you. But you have this inflated sense of entitlement. People should know. Like, you running around beating your chest. Like, I'm that person. I'm that chick. I'm that, like, that's where this comes in, that inflated sense of entitlement. An exaggerated sense of self-importance. You think you are more important than everybody else does, right? In your mind, you're the most important person in the room. Even if the president is in the room, you are the most important person that is in that room. At least to yourself anyway. Exaggerated self-importance. The next thing. You expect to be seen as superior even though you don't have the achievements or the accomplishments to back it up. That makes sense. You expect people to recognize you as being superior, even if you don't have the accomplishments or the achievements to back it up. You don't have the stuff. You don't have that stuff for you to be saying that you are superior. Okay. Now we're going to go to the next one. Now, you exaggerate your achievements and your talents. Whatever you do, you're the best person that does it. And nobody else can do it but you. You got me? It doesn't matter what it is. Nobody else can do it but you. I want to publicly apologize. Bobcat. Oh, wow. No need to apologize. No need to apologize. We all in this together. We just all handle it in different ways. The next thing. This one. Preoccupied with fantasies about success, power, brilliance, beauty, or perfection. Preoccupied with fantasies of success, power, control, okay. brilliance, beauty, or perfection. Boy, this next one, oh my goodness. Let me give y'all this one real quick. The next one. This person tends to monopolize conversations and belittle or look down on people that they perceive as being inferior to them. I'm going to repeat that one. This person or these types of people tend to monopolize, take over, control conversations, or tend to belittle people or look down on those that they perceive as being inferior or less than them. Sound like a Napoleon card? Yeah. That book is law. It becomes embedded into your brains. I tell you. I'm going to read that one more time. One more time. Because if you notice it in yourself, I dare. Because sometimes we all can be guilty of it. So I'm going to read it one more time. This person tends to monopolize the conversations. They tend to belittle or look down on people that they feel are inferior to them. So it goes back to the other thing when I was telling you this person feels superior. So the people that they feel like inferior or less than them, not deserving of their conversation, not deserving of their company, not deserving of the darn air that they breathe. These are the people that they tend to talk down to and act like the person is just slow, don't have any sense. And they see, that's when people start getting smart with you. Like you ask a question, like a legit question, they get smart with you and try to make you feel stupid. Y'all ever had somebody do that to you before? Like you may say, what is that? Because you genuinely don't know what it is. And then, what you mean, what is that? You should know what that, like y'all, maybe I'm the only person that's seen that done before. But that, Okay. The next one. Expect special favors. Here we go. Expect special favors expect, live stream will be removed in 5, 4. No, tell them don't do it, don't do it. Let me get these out before you shut it down. Expect special favors and unquestioning compliance with their expectations. Listen, expect special favors and unquestioning compliance. That means don't ask me nothing. How dare you? You're inferior to me. How dare you ask me a question? Just comply. Okay? Don't ask me why. Just ask me, when do you want me to do it, sir or ma'am? You want favors, it's already buffering. Wow. Right? Who are you to question me? Come on, y'all. That's exactly. Who are you? How dare you? Oh my. Hey, trial and error. How you doing? So I'm gonna repeat that one more time. Expect special favors and unquestioning compliance. Unquestioning compliance with their expectations. I keep buffering so we know that they're trying to get my video shut down. Now, I'm going to tell you, if this one gets shut down today, I'm going to call every one of y'all out. I'm going to call every one of y'all out. Y'all going to be pissed off. Y'all going to be pissed off. You hear me? Oh, y'all going to be some pissed off people. Oh, look. Church on Thursday night. I'm here with you about the films, eating the dinner I cooked. I would eat. This is my kind of live stream. Don't hurt him, kill. Opinionated. What's going on, Trent? Y'all, we just gonna keep on going. We gonna keep on going. K baby, you got another happy birthday up in here. Happy birthday. All right. Here's one of the next symptoms. It's not even a symptom. It's just telling you what they do. Okay. The next one is the truth is not readily accepted or acceptable, even though it's an offense, but it's not a sin. True story. True story. These people tend to take advantage of others to get what they want. That's simple. These people tend to take advantage of people to get what they want. That's it. That's all. They take advantage of people to get what they want, and they'll dare you to question them. How dare you question my authority? How dare you question my leadership? How dare you come in here with your own thoughts? What's wrong with you? Timothy, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Been blinded too long. Call them out. Jesus, take the wheel. Okay. Take advantage of others to get what they want. Y'all see how this stuff go together? So you see how whenever you were given your attributes at the beginning and you gave those two and those two things went together? Now, when you think about the narcissist and the things that we're putting, you see how all those things tend to go together? You got me? You see how they go together? Okay, we're going to keep on moving. The next one. Oh, my. A narcissistic person tends to be envious of others and also believes, like really believes, that others are envious of them. The narcissistic person tends to be envious of other people and tends to believe that other people are envious of them. With nothing to back it up. Yes, you can go to the bathroom. I need you to say mi permite ir al baño. You can go. So, envious of others and believes that other people are envious of them. when nobody's saying it. Y'all got it? All right. The next one. Ooh, my. Whew. Okay. They behave in an arrogant or a haughty manner. Okay? Arrogant. Oh, I'm buffering again. They behave in an arrogant manner. They come across as conceited and boastful. They behave in an arrogant manner and come across as conceited and boastful. Okay? Y'all, if it's buffering, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do to stop it. So I tell you, if it goes out, then I'll come back in on another video. Boy, I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. Y'all better let me be. Y'all better let me be. You better let me be. You think you've been crying before, you really gonna be crying now. Oh, Lord have mercy. Behave in an arrogant or boastful manner. Arrogant, boastful, and comes across as conceited. I'm good. Maybe try going out and coming back in. People, mine hasn't buffered at all. Okay. A suggestion was made to go out and come back in, and maybe it'll stop buffering. I'm hoping that's what it is, y'all. So we're gonna stop right there on this one. Okay. So we got all these things. For us to consider whenever we think about narcissists or narcissistic or narcissism. Whenever we think about all these, are they floor cleaners because they need to stop buffering your floor? Oh my God. Don't make me laugh. You know my head will start hurting. When we think about all these things, and like I said, when we first started, and I was asking you guys to give your strengths and all this stuff, nobody sat up there and started bragging about how much money they had. Nobody sat up there and started bragging about, oh, well, I got such and such. Look, I know how to make money. Like, nobody said that. The closest thing that we had was somebody that was willing to be successful. You understand? And that has nothing to do with money. So a person that is a narcissist, they wouldn't understand that. If you sat down and tried to explain to them how you had to work for what you had, they wouldn't understand that. You get what I'm saying? Their mind is in a whole other place because they're indifferent, right? Because that person, that are people that we have been discussing, remember, they're not empathetic. They don't understand other people's pain, other people's struggle. They don't understand that, and they're not willing to understand that. So we're going to go on. I really don't care about money. It is not a motivating factor to me. I just care about how well my surroundings are doing. If they're good, then come on now. Come on. And it goes back to what we've seen on here earlier. We had people talking about, let me get my list again. They were talking about having a caring heart, helping other people. Like this is the stuff that we're made of, y'all. This is what we're made of. We don't have to all get along, but at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we all are good. You got me? We got to make sure that we all are good. That's how I was brought up. Like, if I'm good, then my brothers, my sisters, my mama, we good. If they're good, then we all good. Like, that's what it is. And I'm hoping that that's what we can get in this community at some point. If one of us are good, then we're all good. That's where I'm hoping that we can be eventually. Millionaire, hey, how you doing? You say you're in the bushes? Go ahead. Okay. So this one I'm going to actually give y'all. I'm going to give y'all this straight from the textbook. And then I just break a little bit of it down. Just a little bit. At the same time, people that are narcissistic usually have trouble handling anything that they perceive as criticism. We talked about that before. A narcissistic person does not like to be criticized. So when they are criticized or get put in an uncomfortable position where they feel like they are being threatened or questioned, let's say questioned, they feel like they're being questioned because they don't like being questioned, right? That person tends to become impatient or angry when they don't receive special treatment. That person becomes impatient or angry when they don't receive special treatment. All right. Don't have to explain it. Okay? Impatient, angry, without special treatment. All right. This person tends to have significant, oh my goodness. This person tends to have significant interpersonal skill. They have significant interpersonal problems and they easily feel slighted. Everybody's out to get them. Everything that's done, like it was done specifically to hurt them. This person has trouble interacting, significant interpersonal problems. You have difficulties reacting with other people. You have difficulty communicating with other people. You have a problem with that. And when that does not go the way that you want it to go because you tend to self-sabotage, then you feel like you have been slighted or that someone did you wrong or that someone's out to get you or that someone is jealous of you. That's where that comes from. The narcissistic person, when they perceive something as criticism, they tend to react with rage or contempt, and they try to belittle the other person to make themselves appear superior. Y'all need that one again. They react with rage or contempt, and they try to belittle other people to make themselves appear superior. Okay? I run this. I control this. Y'all know. We're gonna move on. Oh. The narcissistic person that tends to think that someone, the person that can't deal with criticism, that narcissistic person, that narcissistic person tends to have difficulty regulating their emotions and behavior. I'm going to give y'all that one again. The narcissistic person that feels that they are being criticized tends to have difficulty regulating, controlling their behaviors and their emotions. They spin out of control. Do whatever. It doesn't matter how many times you tell them that what they're doing is not working. It's not conducive to a particular situation. It's not helping them out. That their own behaviors are hurting them. Because they can't accept criticism, this is what you're going to get. Spitting fire. Hey. Narcissism is real. Yes, I had encounters with narcissistic persons when I did my... Yes, oh my God. Yes. Okay. The narcissistic person that has difficulty accepting criticism usually experiences major problems dealing with stress and adapting to change. So when a situation comes and it seems like, let's say somebody new comes into the picture. Let's say you got a relationship and somebody new comes into the picture. They have difficulty dealing with that because they're so used to being superior and getting all of the attention. They're so used to being the person that oh my gosh, like they can tell you anything. Remember, you can't ask them any questions. They are so used to being that person that it causes them internal stress. It causes them internal stress, and they cannot adapt to change. So what do? They cause distractions to block change. You understand what I'm saying? But one reality in life is change. So when it seems that things are starting to turn in a different direction, that person tends to sabotage a situation to get things back to where they were so that they can be in their comfort zone. Does that make sense? I need to be in my comfort zone. So I'm going to do whatever I need to do and create whatever mayhem and destruction that I need to create to get things back to the point where I am comfortable. Because at the end of the day, it's all about me. You don't matter in my world. You're not important enough to matter in my world. To me, you're just another inferior peasant walking down the street. You don't matter. Let's pull it together. For those unable to accept change, unfortunately, will not grow. Amen. You can water that seed all that you want to. You can put fertilizer on it. You can put, the miracle growth treatments and stuff on it. You can get True Green to come out and try to nourish it a little bit. It's not going to grow. It's not going to grow. The narcissistic person. The narcissistic person that tends to not be able to accept criticism, him or her, that person tends to feel depressed and moody because they fall short of perfection. Can't take ownership of wrongdoing. Come on, y'all. That person tends to be depressed or moody. Because they fell short of perfection. So understand, this person who tends to have difficulty dealing with their emotions and behaviors whenever things don't go their way, or whenever they're receiving what they're perceiving to be criticism, whenever these things happen, they tend to get depressed or moody. That's when you see people going on, I'm spitting fire, on rants. And they just have this rage that seems to have come from out of nowhere. They big mad and they don't know who they mad at. But because they were imperfect, because they messed up, because they didn't do things the way that they were supposed to be done, instead of them sitting down and acknowledging the fact that I need to go and fix something. I need to go and maybe redo something. I need to modify something. Instead of them looking at self, they go and they transfer all that depression, and they transfer all that moodiness, and they transfer all that disappointment that they feel in themselves onto you. And if you're in these YouTube streets, you're going to get 5 or 6 videos. If we had some of those people in the YouTube streets, you're going to have 5 or 6 videos back to back. Because I need you to understand how upset I am with myself. But I'm definitely not going to say it's about me. Because it's never about me until I want it to be about me. if that makes sense. More like a personal multiple. No, this just a regular person. Hey, Key. This just a regular person that has a personality disorder that happens to be a narcissistic personality disorder. And but I mean, it's all around. That song say we got angels all around. We got narcissism all around. You know. Okay. I'm gonna give you this last one on that one. On this one, a person that is narcissistic, that has difficulty dealing with what they perceive to be criticism, that person usually has secret feelings of insecurity, shame, vulnerability, and humiliation. Good night, Kim. A person that is narcissistic that perceives things as criticism. Okay? You trying to tell them something, they see it as criticism. It doesn't matter how it comes across. If you're not going along with what they're saying, it's criticism. So that person has secret feelings of insecurity, shame, vulnerability, and humiliation. Now, as a narcissistic person, those things, that insecurity, that shame, that vulnerability, that humiliation, that's going to come across as an overconfident and overzealous person, because I have to convince you that I don't have any vulnerabilities. I have to convince you that I cannot be humiliated. I have to convince you that I am so secure in myself, because I am not willing to let you know that I have those insecurities. I am not willing to let you know that I feel shame, that maybe I'm lacking in a particular area. I can't show you that because I am superior. And as long as I am superior, I can do no wrong. So I'm not going to show you my vulnerable side. I'm not going to show you that I feel humiliated. I'm not going to tell you that I have insecurities. I'm not going to tell you that I may have trouble reading something. I'm not going to tell you that I can't control my temper. I'm not going to tell, thank you, Block. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm not going to tell you that when I'm sitting alone or whatever, I don't know what to do with myself. Sometimes I hate myself. I'm not going to tell you those things, because now once you know that I have those vulnerabilities, then I can no longer sit here and pretend that you are inferior to me. Now we're on the same level, because regular people know that everybody has vulnerabilities. Everyone has weaknesses. Just as sure as you have those strengths, you have weaknesses. That's what makes us human. Okay? That's what makes us human. So when you look at everything that's going on, that's what I need you to think about. When you look at everything that's going on, it's our imperfections that make us perfect. We are perfectly imperfect because of our imperfections. That's what makes us human. That's why I don't jump on anybody about, oh, well, you did that. You're imperfect. That makes you human. A narcissist doesn't understand that. They don't understand that. And the day that they have to admit that they're wrong, boy, that's a hard day for them. It takes them a while to get over that. It takes them a while. If you can ever get them to that place to admit that they're wrong, it takes them a while to deal with it. And they will beat themselves over the head about it. Instead of simply saying, you know what? Maybe I could have did things a little bit different. Maybe I shouldn't have came at that person like that. Oh my God. Thank you, Spitting Fire. I'm not cheap like Block. Thank y'all. Oh my gosh. Thank y'all so much. Like, for real. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. That's what this stuff is about right now. This is what we're dealing with right now. And like I said, at some point, we all got a little touch of it. But when you have a full-blown narcissistic disorder, y'all about to make me tear up on here. Thank you, G2G. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Appreciate y'all. When you have somebody that has that full-blown disorder, a lot of times they can't see the things that you see. And so sometimes we'll like take it personal because we keep trying to drill something in somebody's head. And it's like no matter how many times and how creative you get with trying to tell them something, it's like they're just not getting it because that darn narcissistic person is not gonna get it. Let me switch it up. They ain't gonna get it. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen until they are real with themselves about what's actually going on. On bite spitting fire on her forehead. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate that. Like, all jokes aside, I really appreciate that. So here we go. I got NARS. How do we know when this narcissism has gone too far? How do we know when it's gone too far? I'm going to read to you for a minute. I hope y'all don't mind if I read to you. I used to hate for people to read to me, but people with narcissistic personality disorder may not want to think that anything could be wrong. So they may be unlikely to seek treatment. Everybody's talking to them. Everybody's trying to, everybody's trying to make that breakthrough. You having interventions and everything else. This person does not think that he or she needs help. So you got a continuous battle. If they do seek treatment, it's more likely to be for symptoms of depression, drug, or alcohol use, or another mental health problem. Now, let me stop there for a minute. A narcissistic person, and not all, but a lot of them that I have come in contact with, especially with therapy, those people usually think that they can outsmart the therapist. So they'll tell the therapist whatever they think that therapist needs to hear, what they perceive that therapist needs to hear or wants to hear, so that they can get through treatment. Because a lot of times those people didn't come on their own. Maybe the family said, look, we tired of you. You're going to have to do this. They gave them an ultimatum. Or you had people that were court ordered to come. But either way, they try to outsmart the system. A narcissistic person thinks that they're the smartest person in the room. They can outsmart anybody or anything. And they end up getting themselves in a worse predicament than they were already in. Alright. Perceived insults to self-esteem may make it difficult to accept or follow through with treatment. Wow. Thank you, Jersey girl. Y'all showing out. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Jersey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm going to go back to this. Whenever that person is seeking treatment or you're trying to help that person or get them to the place where they're willing to seek treatment, that person tends to have perceived, whatever you say, they perceive it as an insult. Y'all got me? They perceive it as an insult to their self-esteem, and it makes it difficult for them to accept or follow through with treatment because they feel like you're insulting them. That's an insult to their intelligence. How dare you say I need to go get some help from somebody? How dare you say I need to talk to somebody? How dare you say I need to fall back a little bit? How dare you tell me, look, you're not doing stuff right. You might need to go rethink this stuff. How dare you tell me not to come at somebody when I feel like they came at me, even if it's irrational? How dare you tell me not to do this? I'm me. How dare you tell me not to do this? I mean, it's me. Are you kidding me? I mean, I could understand if it was them, but it's me. Come on. We're going to look at some of the causes real quick. Possible causes. Possible. Shamika, you're right. That's where that power come in at. That's where that power comes in at. That control is hand in hand with that power. You can't have one without the other. You cannot have one. They are not mutually exclusive. We looked at a couple of the possible causes. So, of course, the environment. So, this says mixed matches in parent-child relationships with either excessive adoration or excessive criticism that is poorly attuned to the child's experience. So, basically it's saying when you have that mixed match in a childhood where either a parent worships their child, they just completely, and this is beyond regular admiration now. They just completely just worship the ground that child walks on, and that child can't do any wrong. Or you have the exact opposite where they criticize everything that child does, like that child can do no right. So you have that person that's caught up in the middle of all that. They didn't have that healthy balance. So that person tends to go, and when they're younger, they start making up stories. They start fantasizing about having that life that they don't have at home. They start fantasizing about the life that they see their friend having, or that they perceive their friend is having at home. They start fantasizing about having a life like the kids on the Cosby Show. They start fantasizing about these TV lives that really don't happen. They really don't happen like that. And when you have that starting as a child, then you see what that comes, or what you have as an adult. I'm going to say this, and if this don't have nothing to do with any political stuff, but look at the president. He's the prime example. He's the prime example. And there's no shade on that. Like, it is what it is. He is the prime example of that. There's no balance on that pendulum. When that thing swings, it's either way over here or way over here. It never falls in the middle. You never have that happy medium. It's either way over here or way over here. There's no in between. There's no gray area. It's all or nothing. Ultimately becoming their truth. So what? Take it with them into that. Come on now. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. That becomes their truth. And that's why they can live in it, because it is their truth. Y'all ever hear some people say, some people lie so much that they start believing their own lies? Y'all, that's real. That is real. It's just like some people said that certain things happen to them, and it happens. They stay stuck with that story for so long that they really believe that it happened. In their mind, they have convinced themselves that it happened. If you go back on the psychology side and you look at Sigmund Freud, he had this patient, and her name was Anna O, right? And she convinced herself that she had a sexual relationship. She was his patient. She convinced herself that she had a sexual relationship with Sigmund Freud and that she was pregnant with his child. She went through the motions. Her body started changing as if she was really pregnant, and there was no child there. They did not have a sexual relationship. But in her mind, she concocted this whole relationship in her mind. And it was so real to her that her body, she started lactating. Do you understand what I'm saying? Her body started going through this process like this stuff was really going on. That's some serious stuff. Now think about how that is, come on. Think about how that is relevant to today. Think about it. Perception, assumption, and expectations will destroy any man. Come on, they sure will. They sure will. In a relationship, any romantic, platonic, spiritual, just regular, working, any type of relationship. The most effective way of training the brain is through the human ear. They'll repeat the same lie so much that it's stored into the memory, making it their truth. Okay. So now we got a type of operant conditioning on here. Okay? Because that's what that sounds like to me. You have trained yourself we're gonna get into this operant condition. Let me give y'all a little psychology thing just real quick, if y'all don't mind. So we got this thing right here, and when people start doing experiments and stuff like that, and I mentioned this before, but they wanted to see if they could like train dogs and train rats to do certain things. Okay, now what these people are doing is a type of like it's self-operant conditioning, and I don't even know if that's a thing, but that's more so of what it is. These people took and they would bring stuff out. They want to make the dog salivate. They want his mouth to water every time they brought something out, right? They bring it to him. They kind of switched it up. So it wasn't like a steady thing. The purpose was to train them, right? So I got to say this so that people understand what I'm talking about. Okay, you go to work. You go to work every day, and every day that you go to work, I'm going to pay you. So your expectation is I do the work, I get paid. I do the work, I get paid. I do the work, I get paid. Okay, now I got to train you, right? Now I got to train you. So what I'm going to do now, you're going to come to work, but where I was paying you every week, now I'm going to pay you every 2 weeks. And I'm going to do this now. First, you may be a little confused because you're used to getting your stuff every week. If you work, you expect to get your money every week. So when I go and I go every 2 weeks, now you're looking like, wait a minute. But you work anyway, even though you may not work as diligently as you were before, but eventually you get used to it. So you keep doing the work. I'm training you. Okay, now I'm going to take that 1 week, 2 weeks, now I'm going to take it a month, and you're only going to get paid a month, right? Again, you feeling some type of way, you may be looking like, hold up, this ain't quite right. Okay, but your understanding right now is work equals pay. Work equals pay. Work equals pay. This is what Block is talking about whenever you train, you get your mind trained. You keep saying something, then you get this result. So it's just, I keep working, the end result is that I get paid. I keep saying this, the end result is that I believe it. That's where that conditioning comes in at. We start conditioning ourselves to believe certain things. It's just like somebody that's trying to quit smoking. A lot of people think you can't quit smoking on your own. You can. You sitting up there and you have to know in your mind that you have control over something. We go back to the control and power. You have to convince yourself. You have to know that you literally and physically have control over those desires. You understand what I'm saying? So if I tell myself, listen, I don't need this. I don't need it. I don't want it. And you keep telling yourself that, then guess what? Eventually, you're going to start believing it. You get what I'm saying? So it goes back. I'm trying not to get into all this, but it goes back to a conversation that I had. I don't want to go into the conversation. I'm going to leave it alone. But yeah, you convince yourself that stuff is true. You train yourself in that manner. And that's pretty much what it is. Block done got me all the way over here in psychology class. Let me bring this, let me come on back. I'm gonna come on back for a minute. Another one of, I'm sorry, I just popped my mouth like that. Another one of the causes of narcissism has to do with just simple genetics. Simple genetics. You inherited some of that mess. You inherited some of that foolishness. Y'all know mental illness tends to run in the family. So some of this stuff could simply be inherited. Yes, impervious. So we have the genetics here. Okay. So research has shown that a lot of times with mental health disorders, they can affect the next generation, but they often tend to skip a generation. So you may have like some crazy stuff going on, like all these people had all this stuff going on, and then this next generation comes And they may experience some stuff, but they may not know the history. Other people may not know the history of the family before that. So they may think they're just showing out or whatever when they're actually dealing with some genetic stuff that they just don't know about. And it may not hit that generation the way that it hit the generation before, but when that next generation comes along, oh my. Oh. What will we have here? The last thing that, and the information I'm giving you guys on this particular part right here with the causes, this is coming from the Mayo Clinic. So if you want to get, read a little bit more on this information, when I'm giving you about the causes, that came from the Mayo Clinic. The last one that they put out there is neurobiology. The connection between the brain, your behavior, and your thinking. Boom, let's go into this. This is why we will address this with cognitive behavioral therapy. Because we got to try to get you to make that connection between your thinking, your brain, and your behavior. Why your thinking led to this behavior, and your behavior led to this outcome. You got me? That's really hard to do with a narcissistic person, because whenever you're doing that CBT, a person has to be able to look at stuff with a realistic lens. And those people tend not to be able to. I don't know if it's not able to or they refuse to look at things with a realistic lens. So therein lies the problem with treatment. You have to be able to make that connection. Come on, Block. I can't get you to see. You're not getting it. You start beating yourself in the head. You start beating yourself up because they're not getting it. And it's only so much you can do. It's only so much you can do. You know, you do what you can. You do what you can. So I'm going to go over some risk factors that they put out there. Some of the risk factors. Narcissistic personality disorder affects more males than females, and it often begins in the early teens or early adulthood. Keep in mind that although some children may show traits of narcissism, this may simply be typical of their age and doesn't mean that they'll develop full-blown narcissism. It doesn't mean that. It could, but it doesn't automatically mean that. Although the cause of narcissistic personality disorder is unknown, the direct cause, some researchers think that in biologically vulnerable children, parenting styles that are overprotective or neglectful, that's what we're talking about. You got one parent that's way over here and one parent that's way over there, may have an impact. Genetics and neurobiology also play a role in development. Okay, so that was just summarizing some of the stuff that we went over. Now, hold up, let me see what I'm missing. Especially when you care for the client. Yeah, it hurts. I promise it does. No, you cannot. I need a cigarette right now and a drink. That testosterone factor. Oh, I say what? You know what? We're going to get on the Oedipus. Well, Pico mentioned it earlier. We're going to get on old Oedipus over here. We're going to get on old Oedipus. So some of the complications that come along with this. Some of the complications. We mentioned one before. These people tend to have relationship difficulties. It doesn't matter what kind of relationship. Friends, co-workers, family, marital, any type of relationship. They tend to have difficulty maintaining appropriate relationships with people. They have difficulty with that. The next thing is that person tends to have problems at work and or school. I would assume that it's due to the fact because they have difficulty forming proper relationships or maintaining relationships with people. That's hard. When you're in school, you have to be able to communicate effectively with other people to get the things done that you need to get done. Pico had asked about Oedipus before, and then Jersey Girl Other complications we talked about before, depression and anxiety. So that goes along with depression and the moodiness that we talked about earlier. That person tends to be very anxious, to the point it might come across like that person has ADHD or ADD. They can come across very anxious and find themselves in a panic. This person tends to have or can have physical health problems because of all the other stuff that they have. Because of all the other stuff that they have going on. And that depression and that anxiety can actually cause some of these physical health problems. This person can sometimes have problems with drug and or alcohol use because they can't take criticism or can't take failure or come down so hard on themselves when they have to be faced with something that will be perceived as a failure. A lot of these people tend to self-medicate. That's where the drugs and the alcohol come in. And their mind is going to help them deal with that problem. It makes it go away at that particular time. But we all know when you're dealing with substance abuse, yeah, it may make you feel good at that particular time, but when you come down on whatever high you're on, those problems are still there. And now, with you doing whatever you're doing, you probably made them worse. You probably exacerbated the problems and made the stuff worse than it was from the beginning. But when people are using these things to self-medicate, they don't think about that. Or you have some that do say, I know it's not going to make it go away, but it'll make me feel better. Either way, it's a form of self-medicating. So you see that. And finally, that person sometimes or could have thoughts of, yes, weed is a drug. We ain't going to get on that conversation of suicidal thoughts and behavior. And I won't get on that too much because that's a whole other conversation. So the suggestion is it's recommended that you get treatment as quickly as possible. Get treatment as quickly as possible. If you can get it in childhood, Lord, get it in childhood. But a child does not know. But get the treatment as quickly as possible. Family therapy. They believe that tends to help because a lot of people feel that a lot of these behaviors and this type of thinking may have started in their childhood with the mixed matching parenting and, you know, this parent being way over here or this person being exposed to this type of relationship with their family. So they feel like the family therapy will work. Maybe it will if that's what the root of the problem is, and family therapy may help. If that's not the root of the problem, if it was something that was genetically based, then that family therapy, you might have to try something else. It's also suggested that you attend parenting classes and seek guidance from a therapist or a social worker. So you have those things. The thing is with narcissism is it's not something that can be cured, and that's just the reality of it. It's not something that can be cured. It could be something that hangs on for years, or it can be something that hangs around for a lifetime. That's the facts. Even with a person getting treatment, there's no cure for narcissism. People may try to give you medication. Like I said, when you have one thing, like one illness tends to, lend to another one. So, a lot of times when people have depression, and they end up also being treated for anxiety, or vice versa. Somebody may have anxiety, and that anxiety can ultimately lead to depression. So they end up being treated for both. So you may see the person that has a narcissistic personality being treated for something basically other than narcissism, but it's helping to control some of those other symptoms, which in turn helps control some of those narcissistic behaviors. I hope y'all understood what I just said. I've had clients who suffer with depression and all were led to epilepsy. Oh, wow. One had a trigger right in front of me and immediately had a seizure. Black, I'm wondering if those clients that ended up having epilepsy, I'm curious to know if they were all taking the same type of medication. because sometimes those psychotropic meds that they're taking for depression can actually lead to seizures. It can lead to seizure disorders. So I'm curious as to what type of medication they were taking. And one of the medications that I'm curious about is well, I would just be curious as to knowing what medication they were taking. I'm not gonna start calling out medications and people start calling their doctors, and yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that. Okay. But she's in church every Sunday. Yeah, that leads to seizures too. What if your whole family needs therapy and the whole family need to get in therapy, child? I have a sis who's a drug abuser and said many, many years ago she loves smoking crack and never going to stop. Casey, that's I just saw your comment. That's a hurtful thing to see, but, and this may sound crazy, the positive side of it is that she's willing to admit that she has a problem smoking crack and that she has no intentions of quitting. Because a person that uses, a lot of them tend not to be real with themselves about what their situation is. When it comes to drug use, especially when you're dealing with adults, there are some measures that you can take, but the thing is, are you willing to take them? And ultimately, is the person that you're trying to get that assistance for, are they going to be willing to follow through with whatever those the things that you put in place? Like, there's a thing called a judicial commitment, right? And if a person is abusing substances, they can go to, the family can take them to the doctor and have the doctor do an examination, and that doctor can say, okay, they have a substance abuse problem, they need to be judicially committed, and this is strictly for substance abuse. They can say that they need to be judicially committed. So they have to go to, there's like this little court thing that takes place. It's not real court, but it's called court. And as long as you have your PCP sign off on that paperwork, then I will go ahead and I got to go and find you a facility to stay in. It'll usually be a mental health facility that deals with dual diagnosis. So if they only deal with mental health issues, then that's not where I'm trying to send you. I have to find that person that knows how to deal with that dual diagnosis, with that substance use disorder, along with that mental health disorder, because they usually go hand in hand. So you can do something like that, and with that judicial commitment, then you can have them committed based on that. You can try to get them to go to treatment, but the thing is with treatment, if they're not court ordered, if a judge didn't sign that paperwork for them to go, then they can leave whenever they want to leave. So ultimately, the decision for them to quit and not do whatever they're doing, they have to. One of the things that I hate to say my guys, but they get on you, say your guys. Some people tell you that they have to get to the point of being sick and tired. Like, some of them have to reach rock bottom. Now the thing is, everybody's rock bottom is different. So until she gets to that place where, go ahead, spit and fire, go ahead. Some people, they like something has to shake them. You know what I'm saying? And that's when they'll go and make a change. Like, some people, they have to get shook to the core for them to decide that they have to go and make a change. It may be that they get put in prison. It may be that they have 803-888-8268. 803-888-8268. Thank you, Jersey Girl. But they have to have that rude awakening that makes them want to do something. But usually when somebody that's like far gone, spit inside fire sales drugs for the life. What you selling? But yeah, a lot of times those people, they have to like really go through something that almost forces them to want to do something different. But it does get to a point where you have to make the decision. Other people can't make it for you. I mean, they can tell you that they want you to quit. Um, they can, a lot of people, they do interventions and stuff like that. But until that person acknowledges the fact that they have a problem and that it's really affecting their life on a daily basis, it's affecting your job, it's affecting your school, it's affecting your finances, it's causing you legal problems, whether it be DUIs, DUS, like whatever it is, public drunk, public intoxication, like you just find yourself being caught up in some stuff because you were using, or you're stealing, robbing, like whatever it is, because I mean these things all tend to go together. So you'll find she a tough cookie. You'll find a lot of people that have narcissistic behaviors tend to get caught up in a lot of legal issues too, and that's just because a lot of them think that they can beat the system. They think that they can get by with stuff that regular people can't get by. And I'm saying regular, like ordinary people can't get by with because they're smarter than everybody else, because they're superior. So they tend to be a little bit more, have that evil Knievel thinking going on. Because, I mean, they can out-talk anybody. A person like that is usually a pretty good car salesman. They can sell your car with no tires on it. But yeah, so that's a oh, there we go. Let me turn it up. Spitting fire. Miss Fire. Okay, we lost her. I'll wait for the call back. Spitting fire.
Hey, what's going on? We finally got connected.
Yes.
I don't know if this service or what's going on. Probably this 5G mess they got going on.
Go ahead and spit.
My internet ain't working. It's going slow. The TV going slow. I'm like, this ain't no coincidence with the corona stuff going on. Ain't no coincidence. But that bill coming, still won't take money.
Hey, they gonna get that money.
I think that bill collectors are narcissistic. They narcissistic for sure. What I just want to say something, touch on what you was talking about with narcissism and stuff
Spit
like
that fire. Spit that fire.
Yeah. You know what? I see Block talking mess in the chat or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I understand why he do me. I'm such a nice person. Anyway, what I want to say is, everything that you spoke on when you were talking about narcissism and what you're touching on tonight is the truth. It really is. But what I want the chat to understand is that there are people in our lives that are narcissists that we deal with on a daily basis.
That's right.
On a daily basis, everywhere we go, there are people who have other type of mental issues and stuff like that. So when you have people that say, "Oh, that's your friend," or "That's your this," and that's your, we really cannot pinpoint who has this and who has that or whatever, because they may have it, but that doesn't mean that you don't be involved with them or you don't deal with them. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? We have that everywhere we go.
Right.
If I decided that to be honest with you, if I decide I'm not dealing with no narcissistic people, I'm not dealing with nobody with anxiety, I won't have nobody around me then.
You won't be able to hang around yourself.
You get what I'm saying? Like, we all have some issues and stuff. So I just want the chat to understand that when you talk about something, with your expertise, you're speaking on what you have, diagnosed or what you have witnessed or what you've studied and what you know, experienced over the years dealing with different people and clients. But it doesn't mean that it's a thing to where they can look down upon people or whatever, because there are treatments out here. Like you said, there's no cure for a lot of things mentally. So we can try to treat things the best that we can. You know, people that suffer from these mental illnesses or issues or whatever. And I'm quite sure some people think that I have some mental issues or illnesses or whatever. However, the fact of the matter is that we all have some things that we're going through in life. We all know somebody that is not perfect. Okay, because somebody said something in the chat. And I just wanted that person to understand that if I'm your friend, sometimes if the issues are not bad enough to where it warrants me to have to leave you alone, but if I am your friend, I'm your friend with your good and your bad or whatever, and I just know that there's a certain way I have to deal with you. I can't deal with you the same way I deal with someone else, because everyone is different. You understand what I'm saying? So I know how to deal with this particular guy who may be egotistical or whatever, but I know I can deal with this person a little bit different. You know what I mean? But I learned how to get away with it. And when it gets to the point where I can't deal with that, then I know how to remove myself. But I don't want people to think that because you rock with someone or you down with someone that you don't see their behaviors, or that you condone their behaviors, or that these people don't have issues either. We as a culture have to understand that we're not perfect people. You know, none of us are. But we are some of God's best, and we just have to make sure that we do the best that we can, especially during this crisis of right now. You know, we all need to try to get together as close as we can, as much as we can, and just get along and just get peace. Because I just think peace is everything. And if I can step back and say, okay, well, I'm going to call Dr. Rogers and I'm going to work these things out with her or whatever, or I want her to know that there are certain things that we may disagree with, we may not, but I want you to know that I respect you as a woman and as a person. We don't always have to agree to be down with each other, but respect is everything. You understand? And I just want people to understand that. So everything you're speaking of with narcissists or whatever, it's the absolute truth. Because you have to be able to understand what you did wrong. You have to be able to look at things through a different lens, through a different point of view, and how you can go about correcting it, and how you can be a contributor to people in the best way. Because I did a video probably about a month or so ago. Actually, Block called me. He was like, that video was epic. And I had spoke on, you know, what people can say about you once you leave this earth. Like, when they stand up next to your funeral or your memorial service, what can they say about you? And the one thing you don't want to say is that you was messy, you was this, you was that, and things like that. You want to say positive things.
That's right.
So I just want people to check to understand that and try to preach that and try to, you know, we all need some self-reflecting. You know what I'm saying? So I want everybody to try to preach that and bring it out here in these YouTube because it's messy enough. But I just wanted to say that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
And I'm going to come back into the chat and talk stuff to Block.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one. That's what's up. That goes back to everybody being human and being perfectly imperfect. Perfectly imperfect. We all have things that we need to work on. We all have things that we need to work on. I have a question for Black or Dot. Why can't a narcissist change, or why is it so hard for them to change? Let me see. Unconditional love can help remove gender roles. Unfortunately, most don't want to change. It's fear of change. Yeah? Y'all gotta excuse me, Lord. That it has a lot to do with it. They have to be willing to acknowledge certain things. And it's just like somebody that has somebody that's depressed or somebody that has anxiety. It's not that they don't know they have it. They know that they're depressed. They know that they are, when somebody is feeling anxious, you know that you are feeling anxious. There are physical changes in your body that take place that let you know that those things are happening. It's about whether or not you actually want to try to get some control over it. And that's basically what it boils down to. Even if you're dealing with a psychotic disorder, Of course, there are going to be times when you cycle, and even with medication, you're not going to be able to control everything. But you do know that as long as you take that medication, you're going to be able to function. It may not be the way that another person functions, but you're going to be able to function in your day to day. But you have to take some control over that. You know, if you don't take your medication, then certain things are going to happen. If you don't go, and that's why a lot of people that have those types of issues, when they're like, when it's chronic, then you see those people, they'll get medication management. There'll be a nurse that's like keeping track of their medication. They'll get like pill organizers, or the doctor may, or the therapist may recommend that they have a pill organizer to put their medicine in day by day to make sure that they're taking those things. A lot of times you'll have, there will be a recommendation, depending on what kind of medicine that they're taking, that they get certain levels checked so that a psychiatrist or whatever can know, or the nurse can know that they're actually taking their medicine because they have a certain amount in their system. So everybody has some responsibility, but there are certain things that if you want to have some control over it, you can have some control over it. And it's all about whether or not you actually want to deal with it. Some people are comfortable in whatever situation that they have. It's okay. They don't mind having to argue all the time. They don't mind not having those relationships and all that stuff, because that's what they're used to. So they become complacent, and a lot of people that aren't dealing with whatever they're dealing with, they don't understand that. So those are the things. Those are the things that that seem to kind of shake people, because they don't understand, like, why isn't this person not responding, or why do they keep doing A, B, and C, or oh, there we go. We all have to be willing to accept corrective criticism with love. Sometimes medication is surrounding yourself with people who will love you and hold you accountable, because some people can be so dependent on self-medicating. I hope people that give corrective criticism able to accept it as well. In many cases, they want to be loved so bad they'll forget to love those who love them. A loved one isn't supposed to criticize them. That's how they think. That's true. That's 100% true. Do people who are narcissists even realize that they are an adult that's a narcissist? They've had enough people telling them that they were buttholes and a-holes, and they may not know that that's the name of it, but they know that they got a problem. They know that they have a problem. And usually in adulthood, somebody already told them that they were a narcissist. There are people who like to correct others but can't take what they dish out. I think that's everybody. I think everybody has a bit of that. If we think we're right, then we're right, And it takes a strong person to like sit down and really listen to what another person has to say whenever they believe that they're right. Ooh. If the spirit leads you, do what you gotta do. If the spirit leads you, if it moves you, do what you gotta do. I have to deal with so many different things in my life, and that can be very overwhelming. It gets overwhelming. It does get overwhelming. Back in the day, the narcissist was just called the black sheep of the family. I hate to be criticized, but I accept criticism anyway. Yeah, so we're having this conversation today. Like I said, when I started my channel, this is what the topics were. I've actually put several videos out on narcissism. But this is what my channel was supposed to be about until all this other stuff started coming up. But one of the things that I have been seeing, some of the behaviors, I would consider those behaviors to be narcissistic type behaviors. Um, and if not narcissistic, then they would definitely fall up under personality disorder. It doesn't necessarily have to be narcissism. Um, and that's not being judgmental. That's just looking at the situation as okay, looking at the situation that's going on, the situations um, that are going on. Um, um, I'm probably a narcissist. I told you everybody has a little, got a little hint. Everybody got a little smidget. Um, mm, let's see if there's anything else that I want to touch on. In here. All right, so do you guys have any questions for me? Any comments? Anybody want to call in, express any thoughts that they had, like spitting fire did? Lord have mercy. Did something happen? Don't make me go and get the strap. Oh Lord, what Arista say? Hold up. You're welcome, Bobcat. Priscilla, I can agree with that too. There's a way to go about doing things. There's definitely a way to go about doing things. And to be honest, I tell y'all that we do skill building. Giving giving feedback, which criticism will fall under, is a skill. And a lot of people don't understand that. So you have to learn not only to give feedback, but you have to learn to accept feedback. And it may sound crazy, but some people actually have to be taught how to do that. And that will be something that will be important for a person that has narcissistic tendencies. You have to go back and like start from the basics. But that's one of the things that we trained kids on, well, shoot, adults too, giving and accepting feedback. It can take, I can take it on as long as I follow my needs. All right now, that's what I'm talking about. You first have to understand that criticism isn't a bad word. That's right. That's right. Block that. I put criticism and consequence or consequences. I put those in the same category. Those two C words, when people hear them, they automatically go to the negative. And neither one of those are necessarily negative. When people hear consequence, it's always discipline. But you can have positive consequences and negative consequences. You can have straight criticism, because that does exist, or you can have constructive criticism. That criticism is meant to help you build, for you to go and reconstruct, to correct something that may have been done, or something that can be done differently. It's not meant to harm. But it's all about perception. At the end of the day, how you perceive whatever's being said is about how you perceive it. And that is based on the individual person. Actually, let me take that back. The persons. Because you have the person that's delivering the message. So it depends on how they're actually trying to deliver that message. And then it goes to the receiving end of that message, how that person is perceiving the message that is being given. So it just, again, it comes down to perception. You're looking at perception, you're looking at people's thinking, and it can be passed on based on a past event, like when they were in another situation that was similar. Maybe somebody came at them a certain way and they felt a certain type of way. So anytime somebody comes at them trying to talk to them about that particular thing, then they start perceiving it as criticism, negative criticism. Even if it's something that's not negative, it could be something where somebody's telling them something helpful, something positive to help them, and they just don't see it that way. Because they've trained themselves to believe that every time somebody says something, that is automatically negative. So you have to admit that some people say things just to hurt your feelings. Of course they do. They sure do. True story. It's not that the word is bad or good. Some people don't want to be corrected. That's true. I ran into my ex today and there was no social distancing. His cologne was all over my jacket. Really, Casey? Really, Casey? Really? Coronavirus is getting real. My thing is, we can be corrected and take corrective criticism all day on our job, but not from others that may be trying to help. So I guess people pick and choose who they want to. That's true. Like that's fact. People do pick and choose. People do pick and choose. Once again, it's certain people. When it's on your job, you know, unless you just don't give a rat's behind, you know that when your boss or your supervisor comes and gives you this information, that you can't come at him or her any kind of way, right? So you're going to accept that. You may go and talk up under your breath and walk off, swinging your shoulders and kicking your feet like somebody done stole your bike. But you're not going to, give that smoke to that supervisor because you know what it is. But what usually happens is that little anger and frustration that you feeling towards your supervisor, you're going to take that mess to your house. And whoever is in your house is going to get the brunt of whatever happened with that supervisor. So you're going to transfer all that negative energy that you got from not being able to say something to that supervisor for giving you what you perceive as negative criticism. You're going to transfer that right on over to your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your children, the neighbor next door, the child that may run across your grass, whatever. Somebody going to get it. Have a good night, Lisa, and thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My jacket is washed. Thank God. Okay. Sounds like your ex will soon be your next. I married the guy that stole me away from him. Off topic, but 5 confirmed cases of that Rona, and my job still have us reporting to work. Wow. I mean, do they have y'all wearing the proper PPE? Are y'all wearing any PPE at all? Because I don't know what kind of work you do. Because that's my concern, that a lot of employers are not properly looking out for their employees. And I have a major problem with that. They still trying to make their money. But if your employees aren't taken care of, drink Corona, y'all, to keep the virus away. Stop it. Eugene Banks, Eugene Banks that played for Chicago Bulls. Okay. Schizophrenia, anxiety, OCD, dementia, bipolar, ADHD, PTSD, clinical depression, autism. Some people have all these. I do. Spitting fire, you saying they got them all at one time? I hope not. Are you just naming them? Because it's a lot of stuff floating around. And most of the people that have, you know, certain things going on, you're not going to know unless they tell you. You wouldn't know. No PPE, the news. What? The news needed to come. Can we say fake? Please don't tell me you work at FedEx. Don't tell me that. Blog. Spitting fire say you need some help. You need some help. I'm gonna say it's not necessary to shut. They can tell people not to shut down, but I don't know if y'all saw the press conference today. Oh wow, Pico, do you work for them like contract FedEx, or you work for FedEx through the feds? That's what we need to know. Because if you working with FedEx through the feds, then we got a problem. Well, I take that back. Because y'all are essential workers. Let me take that back. But you need to have that PPE. But to be honest, a lot of people that are working under a particular system aren't getting any type of protection. So there you go. So let me be careful with that before I have somebody calling me. It is what it is. She get on my nerves. Oh my gosh. Let me call in. This is my conversation. I need you to walk me through tonight. Oh, okay. So you try. You ain't getting us involved in that. You got a little triangle going on over there. There was a press conference today, and I don't know if the guy was the governor. What was he? I don't know what his position was in Georgia. But he admitted today that he didn't know that asymptomatic people could spread the virus. That is what Dr. Fauci has been saying the whole darn time. That is the problem that people had. That's why the virus has been spreading like it has, because you have asymptomatic people that have no symptoms. That's how Idris Elba ended up with it. You have people that have no symptoms. They don't know that they're spreading the virus around, and they feel fine. They're not sick. They don't have a fever. They're not having trouble breathing. They haven't come to the point where they lost their sense of taste and smell. Like they're not experiencing that stuff. And this guy said today that he just realized that asymptomatic people were. That's not good. That is not good. Brian Kemp, thank you. That's not good. So you have people that are still holding on to this conspiracy theory thing. Whether you think it's a conspiracy, like that part is on you. But to think that it's not real, that's where people like, ugh, yeah, it's real. Coronavirus, it's hitting real. I mean, it's, oh, Lord have mercy. They need to take people's lives more seriously, and that's just all I'm saying. I had a package that was delivered to me yesterday, and it came from my job, right? And it's some stuff that I had to sign, and I had to get back to them. The girl from, she worked with UPS. So the girl that bought the stuff, it was a young black girl. She's come here before and dropped some stuff off. But she came to the door. All she had on a pair of gloves. She didn't have anything on her face. But she brought the package to me, and she was like, oh, I meant to tell you, I had brought a package over here. It was actually 2 envelopes that she bought. She said, I bought it, and they told us to go ahead and sign the package because of the corona stuff. And I'm sitting here like, I know good and darn well you ain't going to sign something for me. But that's the precautionary measures that they're telling them to take. But I'm just sitting here like, you having this girl go and sign this package. but she riding in the car, and if she riding in the car and the stuff in the car got coronavirus, and she just sitting there inhaling the stuff, and okay, let me go. Um, because there were in case of other cases I'm not going anyway. Wow. They're taking care of us financially though. If I had high risk health issues, I could have been paid off six. I could have been off 6 paid weeks. Mm. My mother-in-law had it. Oh wow. We're gonna have to throw some prayers up for your mother-in-law, Shamika. I'm sorry to hear that. Good night, Kay Nicole. Good night. Good night. Good night. It's taking forever for all my equipment to deliver so I can work from home. I thought we all should be protecting ourselves. Some people are saying it's boundary rate. I don't buy into that. I don't buy into the 5G radiation thing. I it's no different than SARS. It's no different than some of the other stuff that we've had. It's something that we're gonna have to go through. It's definitely something that we're gonna have to go through. And as time progresses, we're gonna go through a lot of other stuff. We're gonna go through a lot of other stuff. You know, in the old days, you had malaria and all kind of stuff that was like really spreading. Like we see this stuff spreading now. So you can only imagine how stuff would look if we had social media way back when people had to be quarantined all those years ago. So now with us experiencing something, it's like just people putting a lot of stuff out there. But the problem is if the people aren't putting the right information out there, that's my fear. I have a 5G. I'm selling it now. I was selling like I need a new phone, but scared. Cosmic radiation suspected tonight, please. Trump Twitter right here. They issued a $5,000 fine and possible jail time if caught out. The government issued us letters to drive around with to prevent arrest and fines. I'm still not going out. Yeah, our local Walmart in our area, because we're right on the border of North Carolina. So our local Walmart, they had to issue passes. The people from North Carolina that come over to work, they had to get passes because in certain places in North Carolina they have a curfew. We don't necessarily have a curfew, so they have to get these little passes to be able to come over to South Carolina to Walmart to work. So, to be out past certain hours, and Walmart is closing at 8, so they have to have that pass. I'm gonna go to the store and tell my son's house to check. And he asked what's up wrong with my thing. Today for taking a 28-minute break instead of 15. I was going to reduce it, even taking into consideration that we are working during this pandemic. They only order correct from my surrounding city. Casey, y'all can file a case on that if y'all wanted to. They can't do that. They're paying us additional pay for working and overtime for overtime work. Depending on what your job is, a lot of people should actually be getting paid hazardous pay, and they just don't know it. Take care of the baby. Here it went from 8 p.m. down to 6 p.m. shut down. And I get pay for making it to work. They're also paying us child care since school is closed. So, oh well, that's good. That's good. That's good. So it's good that we having this conversation about this corona stuff, because I can tell you we put the information out, and like those aren't the videos that people really want to see. But you need to make sure that you're well informed. It doesn't matter where you're getting the information from. You need to make sure that you are well informed. When the bill collectors get to calling, I'm just telling them Jesus paid it out. Yeah, I want to be home and safe. My concern is just making sure that y'all got that proper equipment while you're at work. We don't have a curfew during time, but we might as well because everything closed early. Some of the places have they've implemented voluntary curfews. Like our area, my hometown, we have a curfew, but they're not enforcing it like that. Like if they catch you out, they're not locking you up, so it's really a voluntary curfew. So like I said, it takes for like a place to like really get a bunch of cases for them to start taking the stuff seriously. And just from the research that I've been doing on some things, I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if half of the country, if not more, people have it, because so many people have been around so many other people and they're spreading it while they're asymptomatic. I think a lot more people have. It's not that the total number is rising because there are new cases. The new cases are just coming about because people are getting tested. That's what I think. Those are my personal thoughts. That's my opinion. But that's where I think a lot of what are considered new cases are coming from. People didn't have the capability of being tested before, and they didn't know that they needed to be tested because everything got brushed off. It's a sinus infection, it's an upper respiratory infection, it's a cold, and you brush it off and keep on going. And now that you really have this stuff out here, and people are thinking about, oh wait, well I had this going on and I had this going on, because those are conversations that we've been having, and they're going in, they're getting tested, and they're testing positive. And you've been sitting here carrying it, and like unless you know the exact moment that you caught, there's no long. And that's why I kind of look at them sideways with the 14-day incubation period, because you've had people that got exposed over a month ago, over 2 or 3 months ago. Right now, they're doing a lot of guessing, and that part scares me. But I also understand there's something that you're facing the unknown right now, so that's the reality of it. We even have text here this time. Stop it. Do you think we all gonna have Spitfire? You know that conversation. I'm telling you, I'm thinking that most of us have been exposed to it at some point. That's my belief. You know the conversation that we had, and even down to the stuff with my brother. Like I said, I won't go into detail with it, but yeah. So I just think more people have been in contact with it. We didn't have a test for it. They didn't know what to call it. And now you're sitting here and you have all these cases. And yeah, I don't know. Pico say quarantine, darn it. Quarantine. Quarantine. I stay out the way because I have an autoimmune disease. I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis. And I catch stuff really easy. Um, really easy. My body's sensitive to a lot of things, so I just try to stay out the way, which is also part of the reason that I walk every day. So I try to stay out the way, and I don't take the stuff to play with. And I'm just hoping everybody just, just try to take care of yourself and try to take care of other people, and I see her old sent an email stating that another client of mine tested positive. Didn't mention who. I was the only person to respond asking who they're hiding behind HIPAA. Wow. Wow. So did they say that they had any are they planning on making sure that everybody from the job gets tested? Because I'm sure they know who had contact with that client. It's just like HIV and any other system. I mean, you have to work with people that have HIV, and you don't have the right to know that they have HIV unless you're going to be doing certain things with them that will put you at risk. So, Carolina Epiphany 843@gmail.com. Carolina Epiphany 843@gmail.com. Jasmine, hey, how you doing? They need to give a curfew in New York because these people are not taking it. And that scares me too in New York because Pico, y'all may end up getting hazardous pay. I don't know if you're part of the union, but if you go and look at some of the union websites, you see that they're fighting now for hazardous pay. Different agencies are fighting for hazardous pay. I sometimes get viral respiratory infections. I'm afraid sometimes get sick and I'm down for 5 days. Yeah, you have to be careful with that. You have to be careful. I saw K Baby saying something about sinus surgery. I had sinus surgery maybe 2 years ago. I'm not gonna go into any detail about that. I'm gonna just go on another conversation. They will not tell you any names. They need to. Oh yeah, what I was saying about New York. New York has become the epicenter for the coronavirus in the United States. So for them not to be like issuing mandatory curfews, I don't understand that. And I see that people have been going back and forth with Cuomo and all this stuff, and they seem to be focused on this criminal justice reform and this bail reform. And I don't know, who seemed to be doing good with the corona stuff at first, and then it seemed like they got sidetracked. I don't know what's going on over there, but yeah, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. And too many people come through New York. Like, that's sad. That's really sad. I have stage 5 kidney disease. Angela, oh my God, please be careful. That's the sad part about it with government. I asked who just to see if they valued us and the work that we do. They shut the shelters down, though. But they still need to make sure that everybody gets tested. It needs to be mandatory. That's what I'm not getting. That's like, honestly, that's where Greenberg and them were able to make their case, because you're not getting these people tested. And I mean, you're not only putting them in danger, but you are putting the inmates in danger. So But I'm not gonna get started on that. Let me how much is it? Hazardous pay, that would just depend on the agency or the company or whatever that you work for. Um, and I think it's like they would probably have to have like a God knows, a MOA, with the Department of Labor or something to try to get something worked out for their workers or whatever. But it's almost like, being in the military and being exposed to hazardous stuff, and that's the reason why, when they go to certain areas, they end up getting hazardous pay because of the stuff that they're possibly exposed to. So if you're being made to go to work and you're possibly being exposed to that stuff, then why shouldn't you get hazardous pay like anybody else? So just saying. My agency's giving me a 10% increase and I'm working from home. Well, at least they're doing something. New York is 20 million strong. I don't know if this is true or not, but someone told me that in New York they're telling people not to come to the hospital if they have. Yeah, that was true. If they're in cardiac arrest, they told them not to bring them to the hospital because they don't have a place to put them. This is our reality. This is our reality right now. Until the government shut the USA down for 2 weeks to get this under control, the president leaving it up to every governor to decide. I ended up going to a testing site at FedEx Field where my Redskins beat up on. Don't do that. Don't do that, Block. Oh. Don't do that. I'm awaiting results 3 more days. And 3 more days. Trial and error, I agree. It needs to be more than 14 days. 14 days is a guess. I'm working on. Don't respond to it. One second, y'all. Okay. The governments had to make decisions because they were not getting direction from the federal government. Only God knows where that money is. We out. Like, dang, 2 weeks is better than 30 days or longer. Y'all, this stuff is real. It's real. But we're gonna go ahead and raise on up out of here. I see some other people they got some things going on here. I bring my own mask, gloves, and sanitizer when I report to work. Good night, trial and error. Be safe, love. Be safe. Please be safe. Be safe. No decisions have been made on the second person that you mentioned. No decisions have been made yet. According to his attorneys, they have time to submit. Actually, let me say this the right way. They didn't give a time frame, but they said the government has time to respond in writing, so they don't have to respond right now. So we'll see what happens. That's what it is. Spitting fire. Have a good night. Have a good night. Need me now. I know exactly what that need me now. So you guys, we had this conversation tonight. I hope you guys got something out of it. And I just wasn't on here just talking. You know, I hope y'all got something out of it. Snitchy 69 gets to go home. Hey, he may pave the way for other people, you know, because people were saying that it wasn't going to happen. So you guys have the information on this. Like I said at the beginning, please don't go around trying to diagnose people, because this video was not about diagnosing people. It's just about you recognizing it for what it is, so that if it's happening or you are going through any of these things, you see them in yourself, you see them, some of the stuff on other people, you will know what you are working with or what you are dealing with, and possibly know how to handle that situation. So that's what this is all about. So please don't go buying, you know, a DSM 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't ask Block for his DSM. Don't. You know, this is just for information purposes only. Oh Lord, Block got a diagnosis. Since we're not having a slumber party with Caroline, don't you do it, Block. Pootie. I guess I wish everyone a wonderfully peaceful evening. All right, good night, Block. It was a wonderful live, Dr. Writers. Thank you for hosting. Thank you, Jersey Girl. This was so good. Looking forward to another one. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Priscilla. Pico, I love it too. Spirit Fire ain't going nowhere. I love this live. Don't look out and late. Very productive content. Thank you, Casey. Good night, everyone. Love y'all and be safe, beautiful people. Thank you, Shamika. Again, thank y'all, and for everybody that blessed, you know, drop these blessings in the chat. I thank you, and you know I believe in paying it forward. So we shall see it again. I want to G2G. You know we ain't doing a sleepover, but I call you. James, thank you, James. You be safe. Everybody be safe, y'all. Good night, everyone. This was an awesome video. Thank you, Arissa. You be safe. Y'all be safe. Just be safe and stay prayed up. Please, please, please. And don't forget, you and your family, y'all come first. You know, we need a job, but you and your family come first. That's all I'm saying. We were educated tonight. Okay. All right, y'all. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. I love you guys in real life, like for real. And I just, you know, just pray that we all be safe. Social distancing. Practice that social distancing. Pico done told y'all to quarantine, darn it. Quarantine. Thank you, Shamika. PSA, practice good hygiene, hydrate. Jersey Girl, don't put that PSA out there real quick. Drink that water. If you can't drink water, drink something close to it. I don't care if you got to drink juice. You need to make sure that you got something that got water in it. You made me think I was dead. I am getting off here. Y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.